A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the fourth edition of Sports Tonight for the week. And guess what? It's also the fourth edition of Sports Tonight for the month. It's a very crucial month for Nigeria in terms of course, the elections coming up. And I'm sure you've enjoyed every bit of elections 2015. I mean, that comes your way just before Sports Tonight. Well, it's time for us to step things down a little bit from the seriousness of preparations for the elections to the excitement and the fun and the pleasure of sports. That's what we expect to serve you on Sports Tonight this Monday. My name is Tony Ibitoye. Let me start off the show by introducing to you my friends. Together we'll be starting off Sports Tonight this Monday. And later on we'll be making a change. We'll be bringing someone else in. But before we do that, this is the starting 11. But my team, starting 11, second 11, one and the same quality. But then Tunde Koiki has had a fantastic weekend by every standard. He's on Sports Tonight today. I'll come back to him, but let me introduce the guy to my far right, the proverbial Onye Wuchimachuku. Wasn't around last week. He went to Ilorin and had a wonderful time, was almost not coming back. But we had to stampede him into coming back because you guys said, where has this guy gone? Where are the proverbs? He's here with plenty of proverbs tonight. And he'll be giving us the inside story, maybe later on the show, on how Gabros International, now to be known as Ifeanyi Uba United. We'll talk about that later on. Gabros International, now known as, change of name, now known as Ifeanyi Uba United. But it's a good one. We welcome him.
Well, Tony, I know in our place they say you cannot stay in one place and watch the masquerade.
You cannot stay in one place and watch the masquerade.
Yeah, so, you know, the masquerade moves in a zigzag manner. You have to continue.
Yes,
you have to continue moving.
When it's doing zigzag to this way, you have to zigzag to the other side as well.
So we cannot as well stay in this studio
alone
and cover the whole nation. So that was why I decided to go to Ilorin. You know,
but you enjoyed the Super 4, the National League, Nigerian National League Super 4. I'm sure you enjoyed it. Toby Adepoju also came to join you.
Yes. Toby came there on Tuesday. I got there on Monday. Good quality football on display, especially Shooting Stars and Gabros. You know,
the final match.
The final game. And you know, Gabros, handled by former Heartland coach Misko Dobrev. You know, you could see the impact.
The Bulgarian.
Yes, the impact of a side that is coached by an expatriate. So I think it's a shame that we didn't have national team coaches there to spot one or two players. But all the same, it didn't take away any shine from the tournament.
All right, we'll talk about that later on. For Tunde, the weekend was good. Liverpool have been on a bounce. I mean, there's no news about it. The only club in 2015 yet to lose a game, I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
Or even drop a game.
No, they're yet to lose a game.
Okay, you've drawn a couple of games. Yet to lose a game. That's fantastic. Absolutely. You are now fifth on the table?
Now fifth on the table. Liverpool have also returned back into their accounts are now back in the black. They've now broken even. So everything is looking upwards for Liverpool.
So you see, it wasn't good to rush sometimes. If the owners and the managers had rushed into sacking Brendan Rodgers early on in the season.
And even when the new owners came, a lot of people were wondering what they were supposed to do. They said that they were going to return Liverpool back to the path of profitability and sustainability and also return them back to being a competitive side as well. So it's all beginning to bear fruit.
Okay, we'll talk about that later on. And of course, the weekend was also good for Chelsea because they have announced the first trophy for the season outside the Community Shield. The first trophy, real trophy, Capital One Cup. We'll talk about that later on and probably bring you highlights of that as well on Sports Tonight. But let's start the show off, of course, by asking you to be a part of what we're doing on Sports Tonight. Just come around with us. You tell us what was the highlight of the weekend for you. You talk to us about it. What was that event that you look back at over the weekend and you feel that's the most important event around the world of sports for you? Talk to us about it. Let's hear from you. Of course, we'll be expecting you to feed us back on Facebook and of course on Twitter via those platforms showing on your screen. Our feedback mechanism showing on your screen. Channels, iPhone Sports, and of course those handles on Twitter are channels_sports and at Tony Ibitoye I mean, talk to us. Use those platforms. Tweet at those handles. We'll be able to read your comments as we go along on Sports Tonight. It's not just for your feedback. We want you to have a whole experience on Channels TV. And you can do that by going on to the YouTube. And of course, if you want to watch us on iPad, on your iPhone, on your BlackBerry, I'm sure it will be showing on your screen how you can follow us live on your iPad or your iPhone, m.channelstv.com. The platforms that you can use, I mean, are showing now on your screen. You can download the Channels app on Android, on iOS, on Windows from their respective stores, and just carry Channels with you and enjoy all that we have for you on Channels TV. Not just the sports, the politics, the health, the entertainment, everything is a whole package, a complete experience for you if you just download the Channels app and carry it with you wherever you go. Okay, gentlemen, last week, Friday, we started a campaign, and we are going to be starting off the show tonight from that point. Let's go to Port Harcourt very quickly and remind you once again of what we did on Friday. It's the story of Benga Ogunbote, the coach, the manager of Sharks of Port Harcourt. And since that incident happened last week, and since we spoke about it on Friday, I mean, we've got a lot of good reaction. The Nigerian Football Federation have condemned it. The League Management Company have condemned it. The Nigerian Coaches Association have condemned it. But for me, I'm expecting the Rivers State Football Association and Sharks of Port Harcourt to do something.
Well, Tony, I totally agree with you. They said the only reason why evil persists is when good people, don't condemn it. Not just condemning alone, but we must take action to stem the tide. Today, it's Ogunbote. It could be another team. And
Sharks have a record. Oh, yeah. Sorry to cut you. They've done this to Kadri Kana. They've done this to Alphonsus Dike. They do this all the time. They've done this to Osune Guavon.
Yes. Dike was even
beaten,
flogged like a primary school pupil.
Yeah, they do this all the time.
Mercilessly. Tony, and I think the tragedy of it all is that I read the press release that the media officer of Sharks issued. And he even said that they tried to cover it up. They didn't want it to be a media affair. That is a tragedy.
What kind of nonsense?
How can you cover up that a coach was beaten in a manner that blood started gushing out of his ear, and you are shamelessly saying that they wanted to cover it up? What kind of a thing is that? These guys are well known to officials of the club. So it behoves of them to produce the people who beat up Odinga.
And Coach Ogunbote.
And like you said, this thing didn't start today, Tony. Remember we went to outside this country. We traveled with one of the Port Harcourt teams, and what happened was, so shameful.
In the plane?
In the plane.
They were almost beating out people.
Not only beating, they were walking out people right in front of top government functionaries.
Who couldn't do anything about it?
All of us were praying that we should get to Nigeria. Nobody said anything. So
they are not going to throw you out of the plane in the air now.
No, before the plane took off, they were asking people, these same set of characters were asking people to leave the plane. We are pushing people out. And all of us sat there praying. Nobody could do anything. So this trend can't continue. If we are really serious about football administration, like you said, Sharks Football Club, the Rivers FA, must fish out these characters.
Tunde, I've not heard from you.
In developed societies, especially, when you remember the recent racism issues that happened in England regarding Chelsea. Another one has also resurfaced again. Remember how Chelsea moved very quickly to identify these people and say very strongly that if they were found guilty, that they would also receive lifelong bans from the stadium. I mean, that is how a proper club and sporting institution is run. There is no fair or favor. There are no sacred cows. And the truth is, they know these people, so they cannot claim that they are fictitious or unknown soldiers or unknown fans. It is like Oye said, it is one thing for you to condemn, fine. But if you do not match your condemnation with action, you have achieved nothing. So until these people they cannot tell us, the state FA, the officials of Sharks, they cannot tell us that they do not know these people. And what they've done, if they cannot produce it, is tantamount to aiding and abetting. They more or less, they are the same ones who beat the Ogunbote. If they cannot fish these people out, they are as guilty as the people who descended on Ogunbote and Odinga. So this kind of situation should not be allowed to exist in the Nigerian Premier League that we are trying to build. If coaches...
In Nigerian football particularly.
If coaches...
Not just the league now.
In Nigerian football in entirety. If coaches are not safe, how can you guarantee the safety of away fans? How can you guarantee the safety of away officials? How can you guarantee the safety of away players?
These are questions that we hope we'll get answers to. Someone told me earlier on today that it looks like the football community in Rivers State are planning to do something about it. We were waiting for them. There's a meeting tomorrow, I'm told, and they are trying to fashion out something and find a way to uncover all those behind all of this and then ensure that it doesn't happen again. But in case you didn't get us on Friday, you didn't watch us on Friday, let me give you a quick summary of what happened. Sharks were holding a training. The coach had concluded his pre-season preparations. He had finished registering all the players he wanted to register. He's finished the screening. He was beginning to gel his team together. 12 armed men moved into their training ground, beat up the captain of the team, Odinga, and told him, where is the coach? Of course, a battered Odinga had no choice, for the sake of his own life, to point towards Ogunbote. Those 12 armed guys went to Ogunbote, beat him like a baby. Beat him, because you don't even beat a baby that way. They beat him so bad,
like a donkey.
Blood was coming out from his nostrils and from his ears. And he had to be hospitalized for close to 4 days. X-rays had to be carried out on him to discover the extent of the damage, because he was hit behind the head. It was that bad. He was in hospital for over 4 days. This is, once again, unacceptable to the football community we are trying to build in the interest of football in Nigeria. So once again, we're calling on Rivers State, the sports commissioner.
Yes.
We know he's a peace-loving person, Honorable Fred Igwe.
And the Rivers State FA chairman.
And the Rivers State FA chairman, Barrister Chris Green. Something
friend.
must be done about this. And we'll keep talking about it until we see signs that something is being done. And once you identify those 12 guys, they shouldn't come near a football pitch in Port Harcourt or anywhere in Nigeria again. I don't think they should come near a football pitch.
A life ban.
Yeah, and my wife has even advised me that I should not try or think about going to Port Harcourt in the new season. I'm considering it, but it looks like I will accept that directive. All right, so that's how we start off the show tonight. Let's just pause a little bit, go on a break. When we return from the break, issues around the Okwakwa Road Race, issues around the IWTF World Tour that is starting in a few days from now. And of course, the Nigerian Football Federation, the Golden Eagles, the Super Sand Eagles will be up for discourse on Sports Tonight. Join us again.